So the only way to have a sustainable business is to do things consistently, even if they're things that you don't want to do. You need to have a daily routine and you need to plan out what you want to do and stick to it, even blocking out time. So daily routine is very, very important. From the minute you wake up, it could even start with the night before in planning for the next day. But when you wake up in the morning, you should have a set plan of what you're going to do for the day in generalities, and you can block time for this. Like, for example, when I wake up in the morning, I do a morning meditation, then I go on a really long walk, and then I'm back home with my kids and family, getting them off to school and work, and then I attack my day, which is a regimented day of work and passion, right? So having a schedule that you can stick to every single day and rely upon. And you should have a to-do list. Now, that doesn't mean that you have a long list of things and you just do it in order that the list is. Most people put together a list and just do it from top to bottom because they know the things that they have to do, and they're usually easiest on top and the hardest things are down on the bottom. So they really never get to the most important things that are most productive. So you should put together a list of the highest impact, most productive things that you need to do and put that at the top of the list. And each day you do those items from top. You may only get to 3 items, but those are the most productive and those are the things you should be focused on. So your day can be comprised of, like mine is, of work and pleasure. You should break it up because I'm a big believer that so long as we have a very robust private life, personal life, that could be family, that could be hobbies, that could be passions, really anything that's important to you that makes your heart swell, you need to do those things in addition to work. That's going to make you more productive. It's going to make you happier, probably entail giving back and, making an impact into and onto things, even if that's for yourself. The more you do that for yourself and you connect with yourself, the more you're going to be able to connect with other people, your clients, as well as community and that sort of thing. So you need to have a daily schedule and stick to that. Now, within that daily schedule, you need to stay consistent, because if you just do things, this is outside of having a project here or there, right? If you're working on a project, that's more finite. You're going to be able to have a start and end to that, and you're going to be able to accomplish that, get that off your list, and you're going to be able to use those things in your business. So in your business, you want to stay consistent, and you want to, whether it's projects or whether it's daily tasks, but it's not a matter of doing stuff, for 3 days and then stopping. Need to stay consistent doing things every single day. That could be picking 5 people every day that you're going to call that are clients of yours that you just want to touch base with. You need to make those 5 calls. You may not get to speak to everyone, so you leave a message or you follow up with a text. You'll come back to them in rotation. So 5 people that you're going to call that are clients. 5 people that are like new leads that you really haven't spoken to, you want to reach out to them. You do that consistently. The idea is that if you're calling 5 people or you're texting 5 people, that builds up over the course of a month, right? That's 30 days, 5 people, right? That's 150 people. That's a lot of people to be touching, right? You're not going to get to speak to everyone, but at least you'll have lobbed the request to talk to them or to touch base, right? They'll get back to you in time, or you'll hit them next time, because you're going to come up with your own system and process of how many times you're calling that person in a given year, right? I would try to call everyone in the database at least twice a year. You're probably sending them a card during a holiday, or you're definitely sending them emails throughout the year that are programmatic. So staying consistent in your business and doing things every single day and automating what you do every single day, which leads into weekly, into monthly, into annually. That's how you build a sustainable business, because you are taking actions yourself. You're using technology and automation to support your business, because no one could do everything, right? We're trying to do as much as we can on ourselves. And then once we feel a capacity, then we need to hire someone. Now, that could be an assistant. It could be a transaction coordinator. It could be another buyer's agent or a listing agent, right? You have to decide within your business. But until you stay consistent within your business and you work to capacity, you're never going to be able to get to the point to where you know where you are, what you need to do. So what does that lead us to? We need to have a budget and a business plan in order to have a sustainable business, right? So we talked about a daily activity, a daily plan of what you're going to do every day, being consistent, and then following your business plan and budget. Because if we're going to be spending money or we're going to be coming up with an idea to run Facebook ads, we need to know what our budget is so that we can stay within it and we have a plan that we're working towards. Now, even though you have a plan, it doesn't mean that it has to be followed 100%, right? It's really a roadmap. We want to stay on track. We may go past it, right? We may fall a little short. That's why there are variances, right? And we study that month to month, year to year to understand, like, if I overshot it, did that cause harm in my business, or was that a good thing? I may have spent more money, but we generated another 10 clients and we closed 2 deals, right? That sort of thing happens, right? You get onto a roll. So a business plan and budget is more of a roadmap that we want to follow. And when you're putting this together, you want it to be a little bit further than you think you can ever get, right? You don't ever really want to achieve your budget. You want it to be further enough away that you have to strive for it. If you ever achieve it, that's really fantastic. Now, that's different than overshooting like a budget and spending more money because you didn't care or you weren't focused on it. That we don't want to do, right? We want to be disciplined, but we may come up with an idea along the way that we want to implement, and that's a business decision. Okay, I'm going to spend a little more. Maybe you could take it from here and you put it there. Either way, you're thinking about your business, you're being consistent, you're planning, you're doing all the things, again, to have a sustainable business, right? Because we want to be able to rely on what we're doing every day. We're working in today, but we're thinking about next year, 3 years down the road, 5 years down the road. We want to know where we're going so that we can put together a plan day by day to get there, right? So you have to have a big vision, big goals, think about them, and work backwards. What do I need to do today to get there? And again, back to your list. You want to have the most important, most productive things that's going to enable you to make the most progress and to make the most money at the top of the list. You'll get to the other stuff. Or if you're at capacity, you can hire some people to do some of those other things. You delegate and they'll support you. Again, all to have a sustainable business, which is really important that if you're doing everything as the main broker on your team or as the team leader or as the owner of the company, if you're doing everything, you don't really have a business, right? You have a job. The idea is to take yourself out of the day-to-day activity and delegate stuff so that you have a business and you're running a business. That doesn't mean that you can't jump in and take care of a task or go on a listing appointment or, I call it being a sharpshooter. You show up when you need to execute, to really perform, to bring your team along, to succeed. That's running a business, right? You see where you need to come in and out. You have other people doing all the other things day to day, and you have visibility because you're watching from above and you're thinking about all these things. You're thinking down the road, right? And you have a sustainable business.